Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. In the last episode, we decided to bury the hatchet and help begin the restoration of Pallet Prime's main bridge, sending us on a course to a major investigation into the whereabouts of Sweet Lopek's missing axe and the thief who decided to steal it, while also learning a great deal about Woodrow's past through the murals of his life recorded inside the houses all over Palletville, learning that his bad luck is mostly a curse he's been born with that's completely tied to the poems he tells. No matter the poem, the same end result will happen. Bad luck to the worst degree, to anyone or anything within an ear's reach. Definitely quite an interesting, idea of just everything we saw. Also, we learned that apparently Woodrow has been lying about his height, because he's literally walking on stilts, so the guy that we thought was a really tall dude actually is just a normal rabbit sitting on some stilt legs, which is actually pretty funny. But with everything that we saw in the last episode with Bury the Hatchet, we're actually just continuing the story, which is interesting because both the Spark missions actually go off of each other here, which is very, very interesting to see. So from Bury the Hatchet, we now go into a Dryad's dream. And honestly, we continue off with good old Sweet Lopek here, because obviously he's here. So let's see what's going on with him.
Sharp an axe and nothing to chop. I went to talk things out with the Dryad, so I can have her blessing to fell some trees. She's like a splinter in my behind. I can feel her here somewhere, but I can't see her. All I've got to go on is this old folk tale. A Dryad's dreams near a crystal lake. She cannot be seen unawares, asleep or awake. Those who can see beyond that, which is shown, will find her at the heart of her spellbound home.
Okay, so she's somewhere hidden around this specific tree, is what you're saying here. So we probably have to use the scan ability to find her, is what I'm guessing, based on previous interactions with invisible things. That's not much to go on. Oh, well, we tried. Well, we're definitely going to try and at least look, buddy.
Actually, the rhyme appears to contain valuable information. It's where to begin our search, using your new BeepO power.
Definitely true.
I know, Genie. I was trying to avoid getting sucked into someone else's problems again. Come on, read the room, would you?
Well, we can definitely take a look around.
Silly rhyme. How's it help?
Well, it should help us a little bit. We'll see if he says anything different. Looks like same thing as before. Well, at least we took a look there. So thank you. Okay, we'll take a look around. So basically what he said was search with the... Oh, there it is. Okay. So here we go. Let's scan it up and see if we can find the Dryad. Well, we easily found the Dryad, so it wasn't too hard. Apparently she was literally right next to where we were, which is actually pretty easy. Well, let's see what's going on with the Dryad here.
Oh, Sweet Lopek, and I see you used the heroes to find me. Perhaps your axe isn't the sharpest thing about you after all.
Well, you had no idea where you were, to be honest.
I didn't come here to argue, Dryad. I need to fell trees to fix a Sweetie Pie Honey Snookums bridge.
I highly doubt she's gonna help us, based on the fact that she wanted to be invisible the entire time. Well, what kind of, star is that? Because that's a different spark. So she has a spark with her, that's interesting.
Always taking him. You still fail to understand the devastating consequences of your profession. Do you have any idea what it takes to create a seed from which the tree will grow? Of course not. Then I shall show you.
You shall show us? Okay. Oh, she opened up that path over there that was locked to us before. Okay, cool. So it looks like we're definitely making our way over there then. Okay. Well, there's definitely a dark mess puddle over here.
Oh, my nest. No, it should not be here. Get out.
Okay, well that doesn't look good. And now we know why that area was blocked to us earlier. Because we tried to go over there earlier in a previous episode when we were first going through the Spellbound Woods. But now, apparently, well, it's completely tied to this star mission here. Interesting. Okay, well, let's take a look with good old Sweet Lopek here first, and then the Dryad, and then we'll see what's going on over there.
A strong wood fence might have to kick the puddle out of that nest of hers, but no.
What about you?
Oh, this is Sweet Lopek's fault, somehow I just knew it.
It's not his fault at all. That's 100% Cursa. What's going on with this spark, though? Oh no, not the nest. Please get that thing out of here. Well, we'll definitely try. And before I forget, probably should put that new spark on there, to be honest. Surprised I didn't do that earlier, to be fair. Just because this is, like, both episodes, the last one and this one, are literally recorded right after each other, to be fair. So I kind of forgot to do this. Should have done it. And also, just off of leveling it. Oops. Well, that's not good. Would have rather not have wasted that, but we'll waste a couple start potions here, because I do kind of sit on these, to be fair. So we can waste a couple of them. But there we go, Vampostra. Cool, so now we have a Vamp attack on Rabbid Rosalina, and now everyone can heal themselves. So now Rabbid Peach isn't as, like, 100%. We don't have to always use Rabbid Peach now, which is cool, to be able to heal ourselves. Because that's not bad. Having a way to heal ourselves, outside of being forced to bring a combat healer, is actually really nice. So now we can literally use the team that we want to focus on, which is all the new characters. So that's pretty cool. And also we need to make sure we use this Wild Claw Master a little bit more effectively, because if we use it too early, it gets locked into a place that we don't want it to be. But Nesting Instincts, let's get into it. A whole new mission for us. Only thing is what kind of mission is it? Because is it... Oh, this doesn't look too bad. The other mission was much harder looking. Protect the nest. Well, it definitely looks like the thing that's connected to Thanksgiving. I always forget the name of it. The cornucopia, I think it's called. It looks like a giant cornucopia. But it looks like we just need to make sure it doesn't get hit 8 times. Okay, so is it a survive mission while also protecting the thing? It seems like it. Okay, this doesn't look too hard. Well, I guess we'll find out. It could be much harder than it looks, to be fair. But first things first is definitely, more than likely, making sure turbo charges in immediately, because it is a 60% increase to our damage. So there's literally no reason not to. So how much does the Vamp damage do? That's not too bad. It increases our damage by a little bit while also giving, you know, every single hit is a crit, so it's not too bad. But first things first is figuring out what enemies we want to deal with first. Because we can leave the Wild Claws alone first turn, if we really want to. But I do say we should probably at least deal with the first one. That's right on top of where we are. It's probably the safest option to do first, just because this enemy will take full advantage of its current movement. So where does this drop me? It looks like I can easily jump from this one to the other jump panel. So we can easily take advantage of both of these jump panels here. And hopefully in turn, definitely looks like we're definitely able to take a good advantage of this. So we can get rid of the Medici instantly, which is huge. And honestly, from here we can take out this guy if we want to, or we can figure out a different way of dealing with this enemy, because there's definitely options here. I'm going to say we could put you to sleep, which would be probably a smart thing, instead of wasting our turn here. I say we could probably summon a Wild Claw to go after this Wild Claw over here, and then we have something going off on both sides. Ooh, we got the Spark Refresher, so we got our cooldown back instantly, so if that guy goes down, we'll be able to spawn another one. Okay, cool. That's actually really nice to see. Not bad, not bad. Okay, we can maybe set in some Mecha Rabbid Koopas on this Wild Claw over here. Although he's going to resist it, it's still a decent amount of damage into him. While also maybe blowing up his cover too. Because if we can get rid of the cover and make it so he's not safe, it probably might end up doing us some good here. Because that's definitely not bad to do for sure. Okay, not bad whatsoever. I like the idea that he's completely, like, you know, ready to be completely smacked around here in a second. Is there a way for me to knock this guy out? Because I might be able to get him if we drop on him, just to be completely honest. Didn't get it. It was just off of it. But we did get close enough to do a dash, so let's get him out of the map. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, cool. Also, that's a really weird increase to our movement there, that little circle there. I like how the game does that sometimes. Okay, so we can either go for trying to get him out of here, or we can go for... there's a couple options here for sure. Although none lead to us knocking this guy out, though. That's the only problem. We could go for 2 more dashes, though. I like the idea of that, so you know what? We'll go for it. Just because then we can take advantage a little bit. It's only 1 dash, obviously, but it's definitely better than nothing at all. And then I think just getting over here with Edge would be a good idea. And then we can prepare for whatever ends up happening here, because I don't think we need to worry about this guy. I think we can leave him alone. And then we can maybe make our way over here instead, and start dealing with this guy over here. Just because he's easily going to go down here, I think. But I feel like probably getting into a higher range of motion would be smarter in this case. But I think as long as we get rid of all these enemies, I think we win this, I think. Could be wrong, but I feel like it's definitely, going to do something for us. But I think what we could do, per se, is also put him to sleep as well. But I say waiting a turn, and then we'll figure out what to do with that Wild Claw. But I want to be in range of him first and foremost, because this guy's definitely going to deal with this Wild Claw over here. And the Wild Claw might end up knocking himself out, since, he is over there by himself, to be fair. Okay, not bad. Still says 7 turns, though, so it looks like we do need to survive. So this mission is all about surviving, it looks like. Definitely interesting, because it looks like we're almost done here. But the only thing is are we really done, though, once we do deal with these guys? Who really knows? But I guess we'll find out for sure here in a second. I'm going to say we definitely can maybe go for knocking out this guy, though. Although, thing is how do we do it in the best way possible? Just because, well, let's be honest here, there's a couple options that are available. But the thing is are those available options really worth going for? That's the real thing. But we can go for a knockout on you to put you to sleep again. I think we can easily go for... That might get you, actually. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's see what happens. It's worth a shot. Let's see. Yep, multiple crits. Down you go. Perfect. Definitely perfect. I'm gonna say what we can do here, if need be, is we can maybe take a little bit of a jump, little jump brigade here, and maybe go for a knockout on the good old Wild Claw over here, because I feel like we can get him out, and then if it doesn't end the map immediately, that means we just have to survive and make sure things don't spawn. Okay, we can work with this. That's definitely not hard. Okay, we'll stay where we are for the time being, and then just figure out where everything wants to spawn. Okay, things are spawning in one side of the map and some on the other side. I think what we can do is push everybody a little bit closer here, and then just prepare for the next wave of enemies. Because that's 2 turns right there, because then they have to spawn. And it might be, well, it seems like Wild Claw so far, although we're not 100% on this, because we don't know if anything's going to be ranged. And one is indeed ranged, and he's going to get a free hit. Okay, then. How does that work? Because... Okay, well, I don't like the idea that they're being able to heal. Okay, then. That's not really too good for us. At all. But okay, then. Well, I can work with that, though. The thing is we get rid of these enemies, then they lose another 2 turns. So, as long as only one enemy's hitting it, like it is right now, it may not be too bad for us, to be perfectly honest. So maybe we can work with this perfectly fine. And I feel like we can send in the Wild Claw on the other guy, without having to worry about him. But I think first things first is making sure Edge is where she needs to be, because I feel like she's definitely going to want to be up by this guy over here, and going for the dashes like she wants to do, because, let's be honest here, her dashes are pretty strong, so making sure she takes full advantage of her movement is probably the best thing we can do here. Okay, well that guy's down, so now we don't have to worry about anything ranged for a turn or 2, so we can easily work with that. But I say we definitely take advantage of our jump boosts, and see if we can maybe start dealing with the Wild Claw early, before he can get any kind of freebies. Okay, not bad. Definitely not bad. What we can do here is probably along the lines of making sure we make our way up here with Rabbid Rosalina for sure. And then obviously summon in good old Wild Claw for a nice fun time over here to smack around on the other Wild Claw again. Ooh, Spark Refresher again. I like having that, that's definitely good to have. Because being able to, like, refresh our, like, stuff in general is pretty cool. But I say, as long as we get out of range here, we can go for Kaboomer pretty easily without having to worry too much. And we got rid of the enemy. Okay, cool. We're really good here. Because now we have a pretty, like, good couple turns here, depending on when things decide to spawn and everything. Okay, so we got another turn until everything spawns in. So I feel like probably just getting everyone in position here, and just everyone into a safety zone, while also preparing for whatever ends up wanting to spawn here, is our safest option here, I think. Just based on what we can currently see. Because, let's be honest here, they're going to spawn and they're going to hit that thing no matter what we do. Because they're definitely going to hit it. So I guess we just wait and see what the Flaming Stooges do here. Because it's definitely, they're definitely going to go for it. Unless maybe the Magician changes his mind. Nope, they're 100% focusing that. So yeah, definitely need to be careful. The 3 more turns, so we're definitely getting closer. I think what we can do here is maybe if we drop right, we might be able to hit both. Did it break his shield? It doesn't look like it, but it looks like it did at the same time. It's not too bad. We can obviously break the shield now for sure. I like that when he dashes, he actually uses his shell like he's supposed to. It's pretty cool. I like it. I definitely like it. But let's make our way over here. We have the Vamp Dash still active, so let's definitely throw that in right away. No reason not to. And then definitely go for a knockout here. I'm going to say my best option here, though, would probably be to get rid of this guy first, in my honest opinion. Making sure he's down for the count would be better, in my opinion, just because of the fact that, let's be honest here, he's gonna survive if we leave him. So making sure he's down is our best constant, like, for sure, of a knockout. And then Bowser, you just do what you do best, buddy. Although, I thought that would actually hit him, to be fair. That didn't work in the way that I thought it would, but I think we definitely get you because we're gonna break through your cover, or go through your partial cover anyways, too. But there we go, another turn of saving in. Things are spawning right next to us. But that's not too bad, honestly. Because for the most part, there's no way that they can break that in 2 turns, right? Just because there is 5 HP left on the thing. Although, really depends on what ends up deciding to spawn out of those portals, to be honest, because it could be 4 enemies. Because sometimes it likes to do that, to be fair. Although, we have no idea. I'm going to say probably turning invisible as Edge right now would be good, because the last 2 turns Edge will be invisible. So, it's worth a shot, honestly. We can see what happens. And honestly, if whatever ends up trying to spawn out of this, we can Stormblade it too. So, that'll be worth it too. We do a little bit of damage. Although our Stormblade doesn't do a lot, it still does something. So, it's worth a shot. Could be a Wild Claw, it could be anything. So, if it is a Wild Claw, it looks like it's trying to go for Bowser, although it completely messed up, it looks like. I don't know what happened there. Looked like he went for Bowser, but he missed, I think. Huh, weird. That was odd. I don't know what happened there, but it really looked odd. And yeah, Bowser didn't take any damage, so... interesting. Very interesting. That was odd. I was thinking that he would have done something, but he didn't do anything at all. Very, very weird. Well, I definitely say we can probably go enemy, actually, here. Well, we put you to sleep. But I feel like probably knocking you out, and then just ending turn would be a good idea. Because what we can do here, in essence, is knock out the Wild Claw, just leave that guy alone. And then just go for a knockout on this guy. Because he's an easy target, to be completely fair. So let's just get him out of the way. And then end turn, just like so. Because this guy's not going to do anything, because he's asleep. And just like that, the Dryad's Dream, or Protect the Nest, specifically, is down for the count. Not bad. And we also got a lore book for the Dryad as well. I'm gonna wait till we collect the rest of them, because I'm pretty sure the last lore books are connected to the Dryad. I'm pretty sure. Just based on the fact that 3 of them are in the shop. And I'm pretty sure I found all the ones, like, that are out in the open world, so the others are tied to missions. So, could be the Dryad, it could be also attached to maybe the Over the Gap mission. But I feel like it's probably connected to this based on the fact that we just got one just now. So maybe there's another one. You never know. Let's see here.
Hope you see my nest, but my seeds. They're gone. Please, you must find my seeds. You see, the tree of the spellbound woods are magic, but they get turned into saplings on their own. Come follow me.
Yeah, we can follow you. So we need to find your seeds. Okay, well, we'll definitely try. Oh, so this is where you're making spellbound trees? Huh. They're very, very, very small at the moment. Not growing too quickly, it seems.
Genesis in the nest is to get your start in life here in the nursery.
That's pretty cool.
It's a beautiful. I had no idea each tree is like a dear friend to you, is it?
Definitely seems that way. And she's technically part tree based on her head, to be fair. So she definitely makes sense for her to be, fully connected to them.
Perhaps you're not the hazard man, but powerful pumpkin spice producers industry after all.
You're part of a pumpkin spice industry? I didn't know that. Those two might be a while. In the meantime, I can help you find the missing seeds. Oh, it's a Zephyr dash, so it's a Gust dash. Interesting. Okay, well, we can definitely look around. See, they're invisible to most folks, but you can tell you're close if you know what to look for. I swear I saw something weird earlier that looked like a seed, without even making it, pop up. I'll show you guys where it is. I don't know if it is a seed, but it definitely looks like something that would be one.
Well, thankfully nothing's invisible to me. Now let's go find those seeds.
Yeah, let's definitely go find them. But before we go running off, let's definitely take a look. And we'll wait on the Dryad reading of that book there. Let's see here. The seeds are somewhere around here. But let's see what's going on with Sweet Lopek and the Dryad.
Sweet Lopek thinks trees exist only to be useful to those butter brings imbeciles in the village.
I just need to chop down a few trees, but she won't bend. I even offered her to make her a kitchen cabinet.
I don't think she needs one of those, buddy, but okay then. What about you, buddy? You gonna push us in the right direction? It looks like there might be one over there based on that looking like a scan bridge of some sort. The seeds can't be seen by regular folks, but you know you're close when you see heaps of red flowers clustered together. Red flowers, okay. Got it. Looks like there's one inside that tree over there, based on it sparkling, because there is a, bunch of red flowers in there, it seems like. Yep, there we go. Or red flowers down here, too, to be completely fair, too. Well, that wasn't too hard. One down. And I swear, now I look at the seed, I think I did see one. Also, they look like pistachio seeds. That's kind of funny. They are pistachio seeds, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Huh. So pistachio seeds mixed with trees is basically what I'm getting out of that. I'm guessing we just give it, we give it to Zephyr Dash. Here you go, buddy. The seeds are close to red flowers. They definitely are, buddy. Okay, so we just look for red flowers. There's one right over here then, because there's obviously a bunch there. That's kind of funny that it's a pistachio seed, and it's actually one of the, few, nut-based, foods that I actually do eat. That's actually kind of funny. But, honestly, I'm wondering if the one spot that I was at before is one of those. Just because of the fact that I swear I saw one before. Also, before we go running off, I want to see if there's anywhere... Well, we haven't been back here, so maybe I'm just thinking crazy. Because I haven't been back here, and this is definitely a place with a seed. Huh. Interesting. No, wait, no, there's a triangle here. Okay, that's interesting. So, maybe I was right there. Because I swear I saw something that was blocked off that had something that looked like a seed before over in this area. And, well, there's the triangle. Well, and there's the seed. I thought I saw one. Yeah, I thought I saw one. Interesting. Also, is there anything back here? Just curious. Nope. Does not look like we can go back there. It was worth a check, though. But interesting, though. So good thing I remembered that. This one wasn't invisible, though. This one was actually seeable this entire time. Because I swear I saw this because it was outside of this area. So, pretty interesting to be, hidden there. But all we need to do is just take this over back to good old Zephyr Dash and give it to the Dryad, I think. Because I think we're pretty much done with this mission. One more seed? Look near red flowers. Oh, we have it. They did it, Dryad. They found all the missing seeds. It's time for you to do the magic of life. And just like that, it looks like we're definitely putting forth the nice magic of life there. And we also found those seeds, too. So it looks like we definitely made the Dryad a little bit happy, at least. Although, is it enough to let us fix the bridge? Who honestly knows?
Thanks, Rose. You're for bringing my seeds back home. It seems small as compared to saving the galaxy. But inside every seed is not one tree, but many. It is trees that give hope to the souls of people.
Well, I guess true. But interesting, though. Interesting way of saying it. Definitely, pretty cool to hear.
It takes a lot of more to grow a tree than it should be down, but I had no idea.
And true there. It's definitely a lot of work to make trees.
I'll never touch my axe again. You have my word.
After all the trouble to get it back, no, but there's an alternative to regularly harvesting the trees you desire.
Alternatives, you say? What kind of alternative?
Like all things, trees have their cycle of life. When the old ones fall, they must clear a way to make room for the new.
All true. So basically, she's giving him the offer of taking down the old trees to replace it with new trees, which is a pretty good idea, to be fair, and a good compromise, too, because then they can work in unison of each other, one making sure there's new life coming into the forest while taking out the old life that no longer can really make use in the forest anymore, and isn't doing as well. Not bad, honestly, that's definitely fair.
There are several of these you may use to fix this really playfully Spooks bridge. By doing so, you will give them new life as well.
Fair enough.
Only if you come with me, so I can dedicate the rebuild to you, and so we can tell everyone about our new arrangement.
Pretty fair. That sounds pretty good, honestly. And it's fair for the Dryad, too, because then her trees don't get destroyed, like willy-nilly. So, honestly, sounds about right. I definitely don't see anything bad about that, because there's a lot of trees there, and there's probably a lot of old ones, too. They can easily be replaced. But, pretty cool, though, for, everything we've seen. And there's the bridge, so now they can finally get their life back on normal again. That bridge is a major thing to their world here. And it looks like we get a little bit of a goodbye from Woodrow, too, for doing this.
Not only have you restored the bridge, you've restored harmony between worldly state and glorious nature.
I guess we have. Well, we're just glad to see everything turned out for the best. Now if you'll excuse us, Oh, hey! Looks like Sweet Lopek and the Dryad are definitely having a nice time now, instead of being angry at each other.
What dares eclipse and cloud the sun? Two hearts that beat against the wolves of time. When mine eyes are blinded, and so are thine, with crooked back and withered skin.
What are you saying, they fell in love?
We breathe our last hands intertwined, and still the still sun both doth shine.
My followers love it. They already made it into an inspirational waterfall meme.
Waterfall meme? Okay then. I forgot, Rabbid Peach was running around with her phone the whole time. So it makes sense that she, got a following of some sort. Okay then.
Way to spit fire, Woodrow.
I guess so.
BeepO, something happened during Woodrow's poem. I stopped analyzing and felt something.
Really? Wow, that's unexpected.
BeepO, are you crying?
It seems like he's a little emotional. New forest have lots of powdery mildews. One must have corroded my circuit. BeepO being the little emotional guy that he is sometimes. And then it looks like we're getting Zephyr Dash too for doing that too. Sorry to interrupt, but can I come with you guys? No sense in me being a third wheel around here. Oh, I guess we are. Bowser's smile. Seeing Bowser smile is actually pretty nice to see, because you don't get to see him smile too often. Huh. Well, Bowser actually looked like he was having a good time there. Let's see what's going on with the Dryad, though.
The sweet craft lumberjack and I are so in love that the fairy cat is jealous.
The beaver on top is jealous.
The Dryad, she's a lot more down to earth than I thought. We actually have a lot in common.
I guess so. And you'll both understand yourselves now, so that's also pretty good. You should probably check up on Woodrow.
Down at last, said Grief.
I don't know why I almost did Sweet Lopek's voice.
Cursa, while abhorrent, has been in my dark muse. After you vanquish it, I vow to compose more cheerful works as this one. Oh, what a world is this to create such melancholy things to see, and then gives us the eyes to see them who want.
Thanks for the pep talk. Gotta run. Yeah, gotta run, Woodrow. You and your fake legs. Oh. But before we even worry about our next few missions, let's actually buy our lore books real quick. Ooh, hello. Our healing is actually cheaper. Might as well buy that right now, honestly. And also I should probably buy a couple of these while we're out here, just in case. Just because we could probably use these. I'm gonna buy 2 of those, because we can easily get the amount of money required for those. But let's get our lore books here, because I'm pretty sure we should be at being able to finish those now. So let's read through those real quick and see what's going on with the memories of this world. So Woodrow. This one was inside the little chasm underneath Woodrow's house that I didn't even realize it. And I ended up having to pick it up in between episodes. So here we go. Woodrow. In my effort to translate the poet Warden Woodrow for the heroes, I studied thousands of his poems, more than just combinations of rhythmic verses. I found them powerful, even moving, expanding and rewiring my neurotransmitters with each prosodic cue. Few things have contributed to my emerging emotional literacy, like poetry. Perhaps I should try writing my own one day. That would be pretty interesting. Probably would be able to do it if you can understand Woodrow. Let's see here, Depleters. The Depleters is a curious study. Rather than keeping its distance, it gets in close where it can deplete heroes of their vitality, while strengthening itself in the process. When attacked, a special ability allows it to counter immediately. Water bothers them a little. Indeed, it seems to have an answer for everything, save for shock-based electrical attacks. Medicians. There is little to suggest that Medicians are anything but elite foot soldiers in Cursa's army. They keep their distance from heroes, healing and protecting their allies as needed. Forged from lightning, they have optimal resistance to electrical attacks, but are surprisingly vulnerable to ooze. And then Ghostly Walkers. There is far beyond the battlefield. Rabbid Peach once said she was not referring to ghostly walkers at the time, but might as well have been. They turn invisible while moving, rendering any reflexive reaction abilities worthless. There is one counter tactic, frostbite charged attacks. Freeze them in their tracks, but we must be careful. When surrounded, they repel foes with strong gusts of wind. And then we also have one more, I think. Oh no, we have another one, I forgot. We had the other one past the Dryad. Yep, there it is, Mystery of Love. So the Dryad had 2 of them, which is good to see. So I was right on that one, just because I was thinking it probably did, based on the fact that there was 2 missions tied to it. But bioforms are so unpredictable. Dryad of the Spellbound Woods has been foil to Sweet Lopek the Lumberjack for so long. They became bitter adversaries, yet even after their feud reached its crescendo, the pair built a bridge, both literally and figuratively, between the worlds of nature and the industry. Balance, compassion, kindness, these much more than blasters, may be the key to setting the galaxy right. Probably true. And then the Mystery of Love. Earlier I observed two bioforms who were enemies and ideological opposites find a common understanding, which led to respect and then love all in an afternoon. How did two creatures who have spent so much time in direct conflict become so infatuated with one another? Was it the intensity of their feelings that, when turned on their head, brought them together? Will I ever understand it? Can I? Good question there, Genie. But opposites do definitely attract, so it definitely makes sense. And also, they both have a love for the nature and everything to do with Spellbound Wood, so it actually makes sense that they actually ended up, making a connection based off of that. But with that being done, we definitely have another area to go. So let's be honest here, Spellbound Gateway is probably what we should do next. So let's go pay a visit to Madame Bostrella and see how she's doing today, and prepare for whatever mission she has for us, because let's be honest, she isn't going to go easy. It looks like Bowser's definitely got an interesting face for her. He's never seen her before, so it is fair for him to look like that.
You're all too deep. Sorry, just finished mixed apple sponge pudding. Too good to resist.
How do you keep making your way to us? That's my real question. She's on every planet.
Luck is with you. I'm usually too busy to take walk-ins at Madame Westrella's dimensional drift departures. If it's glory through combat you seek, then come, choose your party wisely, and go beyond the gateway.
Okay. We'll go beyond the gateway indeed. I think we're all ready, so let's get right on in then, because I feel like we're probably ready, to be completely fair. So here we go. Good old Dimensional Gateway into Spellbound Gateway. Or Dimensional Drift into Spellbound Gateway is what we should be saying. But, honestly, kind of terrifying just based off. The gateways can be longer in some instances. So I'm wondering how they're going to make us deal with this one. I see a deep freeze. That's an interesting enemy. Goombas with pots on their heads. Depleters. There's only 15 enemies this time. Okay, this isn't too bad. Although the enemies are definitely going to be a little bit tougher. But for the most part, Ghost Walkers, obviously some Depleters, the Goombas with pots on their head. For the most part, we can easily deal with these enemies. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. We can easily work with this, I think. Okay. Well, first things first is obviously setting up Turbocharge. That's 100% first thing. So, no reason not to, for sure. And then honestly from there, now we just need to figure out how we want to deal with these enemies. I'm saying, well, probably should have dashed into you to be fair. That was probably a mistake. But I think we got Spark Energy back, I guess it's not too bad. So, we can probably work with that pretty well. Can't really get to that enemy over there. But maybe that doesn't really matter. Because the thing is all we really need to do here, per se, is really just make sure one of these enemies is down. I'm wondering if our jump will force these enemies to... Yeah, I wonder. Let me check that. That's worth a check, honestly. Let's see. If I drop on top of this Goomba, does it flip him? Because we honestly don't know. No. Okay. So it's not like Mario Stomp, where if you jump on top of an enemy, it flips them. Okay, good. That's good to know, because we weren't sure about that. Honestly, I say you send in the Rabbid Mecha Koopas, because these guys are weak to burn. So, honestly, probably just send those in and blow him sky high, because he's going to run directly into all of them, also giving Bowser a little bit of free movement. And hopefully right out of his combat range. Interesting. Not bad. I'll take that for sure. Couple options here. I'm saying one of them is definitely sending in the Wild Claw after the Deep Freeze here to get him away from Bowser. Because as long as the Deep Freeze is, more focused on the Wild Claw here, I feel pretty good about that. Okay, not bad. Now we can probably figure out where we want to move Edge here. Because Edge is definitely going to want to make a decent range of movement here if we can do it. Can we get on top of that? It looks like we can. Okay, well, it's not too bad, but I don't think we can really get much out of that. But we can definitely try, and I think we can turn invisible if we need to, from this current range. So, we'll make use of it, for sure. But we do have the ability to go straight for a blast, too, if we can get the range of it. Although I don't think we can get it from our current range. We can go for that, though. which may be better. I kind of like that idea more. So let's move Rosalina out of range, and then go for that, just to make sure that the enemy isn't going to be freezing anybody. Obviously, the Wild Claw will take a little bit of damage, but it's better than being frostbitten, because the Wild Claw will probably not worry as much about it, to be fair, because then we don't have to really worry as much about it at all. So, Kaboomer you, for sure. Get you completely out of here before you start doing anything. And then definitely turn Ethereal, I think. Just prepare for anything that these guys might do in here in a second. Ooh, another Spark Energy. Well, we can't really Stormblade you. So, I guess what we should do is probably just prepare a Pow Block, maybe? And can I range this at you? Not at the current moment, but we will hold on to it. I think we can go with that. With pass turn, and then see what we can do with that. Because having the Pow Block with that turn is actually not bad, because then we can use that for later. Only thing is how will we use it here, is the real question. Because this guy doesn't see me, so... Oh, he's going for the Wild Claws. Interesting. Are you both going to go for that? Because if we do, looks like we're not going to get hit here. Okay, cool. That's actually really good. I was a little worried we would get attacked there, but it looks like they're going to leave us alone, which is pretty good. And the Wild Claw didn't actually get affected by the Frostbite at all, which is actually pretty funny, because you would think he would, but he didn't. He literally didn't, which is very surprising. But I do think we need to help out Rosalina just a tad. So where's her current movement? About right there for Bowser. Okay, that's not too bad. I think we definitely make our way over, for sure. And I think we can probably put a couple things to sleep. Because putting these Ghost Walkers to sleep may actually be a good idea. Because then we do extra damage. I'm saying we probably dash through first, though, is what I'm going to say. Because then we can do the extra damage there. So that's not too bad. We can probably do a couple dashes into these guys, actually, to be completely fair. And then start dealing with the other side of the map. So definitely get rid of those guys. We have this Pow Block still. Let's try and figure out where we want to use this. I don't think throwing this at the Goombas is a good idea, but I do say probably throwing it... Actually, we can try it like that. We'll see what happens with the Goomba. Yeah, I didn't think they would take any damage, to be fair. So, at least we figured that out. And then we could probably go for a good range on that. But first things first is I want to figure out where Bowser wants to go. Because Bowser still has range to move. Are you right out of range? Yeah, you are. Interesting. Well, Rosalina might be able to get right into range for Bowser. I think we're barely in range. But that's not too bad, because we can probably use that to our advantage. But I think what we definitely want to do here is just get right into a perfect range of being able to help in the best way possible. Because right now it's kind of depending on, well, what we can do to these enemies here. Looks like we can hit both of these guys, which doesn't look too bad. Okay, well, it's not too bad, but I think I should back up just a slight bit. It looks like the thing likes to bounce off the ground a little bit, based on positioning here. So we need to be careful on how we position it, which is a little unfortunate, just because you would think it wouldn't be that hard to position the everything for that. But what it can do here is it looks like we could probably obviously go for these guys pretty safely. So let's definitely... Well, apparently I missed that Wild Claw there that time. Weird. Okay. Don't know how that works, but apparently it did. Oops. Well, what's this? Cleansing Elixir. Removes all negative effects. Oh, I think I got that for my Spark. Because my Spark gives me a 25% chance of getting random items. So we just got something completely new. Interesting. Okay then, we'll take it. But, I don't even know, like, when we're supposed to get that at all. But interesting though. I'll definitely say that one. Just because that is pretty interesting. But I think we definitely hit you dead on. Because of the drop-off damage for it not being directly in the middle. So it's probably better to make sure we definitely get the best possible hit out of that. But not bad, 7 enemies already down for this gateway. And we didn't get frozen by the deep freeze, even though I really thought we were. But he's been really nice with us, which is good. We got some depleters and some ghost walkers on the other side. It looks like a Medician over there. Oh no, that's a depleter. Huh, thought that was a Medician, based on the, like, kind of positioning where he was. So far, looks like we can easily dash into you. Oh, we got one of the Goombas too. Okay, we'll definitely take you and throw you on out of here. Freebie. I'll definitely take that one. I'm gonna say it's probably best if we get rid of you early. But first things first is probably figuring out where Edge wants to move. Because I do not want to dash into you, I think. Just based on the fact that, well, it'll cancel a little bit of our extra damage out. So, looks like we can dash into you. Probably, well, we don't have another turbo charge in, but we can definitely go for a vamp dash here. And he's charging up a counter blow. So getting rid of him with dashes would be safer in this instance. So let's try and get a decent amount into you, because then we can easily knock you out on our own without any problems later. So far, not bad. It's pretty good. But now we need to figure out where we want to go here. Looks like maybe I can move Rosalina a little bit closer to where she actually wants to be, if I do this right. If Bowser moves like right there, yep, we could get a big little... Oh wait, I can't team jump off of you there. That's odd. Okay then, why not? Well, I guess it really just depends on the positioning of that. Weird. Okay then. Well, I want to be up here, I think. I don't think I'd like the idea of being in this above ground area, because I might be able to probably knock out an enemy pretty easily if I do it. And also, this still says that 70% chance of critting. Does this vamp dash not really, or this vamp attack not really give me that? I would think it would, but it seems like I'm not getting my crit. Why is that? That's odd. Huh. Because it should be giving me 30%, but it's not giving me it whatsoever. It's a little odd. Well, I say we definitely go for you. Also, hit him with a bunch of purple Cheerios. That'll knock him out completely. Okay then. Well, poor guy got completely blasted into next week without even having much of a chance. I'm gonna say definitely sending in Rabbid Mecha Koopas on you is probably a good idea. So, sorry Mr. Depleter, but I think you're gonna have a nice fun time here in a second, because, this isn't gonna be too friendly. I'm gonna be honest. Blast you into next week. But there we go. Not bad. And it looks like all of them are going for him. It doesn't look like they're giving him any much of a chance. And that one's basically on top of him. Okay, not bad. Definitely not bad. Then what we can do here is we can blast you, and then you'll run into the Mecha Koopa. And that should knock you out, honestly. So if you decide to move, you'll end up getting hit. So, not bad. Definitely not a bad turn there. But let's see here. Yep, you blew up instantly. And that should be you knocked out. Hopefully you don't frostbite me. And it looks like it wasted your turn, which is good. So even though you didn't go down, we had a little bit better of a time there. And it looks like they're definitely going Rabbid Rosalina here, yep. That's for sure. But it wasn't as bad as it looked. So, could have been worse, for sure. But let's see here. How do we deal with this enemy? Looks like we have a couple options here. One is definitely setting up the turbo charge and preparing for whatever we need to do here. I'm going to say what we should do is make sure Deep Freeze is down for the counts before he tries anything, because him freezing us would not be a good thing at all. But I think Bowser being over there is actually a good thing. And then we do have Ethereal, so we can turn invisible if we need to, if we do go over here. So let's try and go for a couple knockouts here if we can, because I feel like we can probably get a good boost into enemies here if we do it right. Do we go for you a little bit? I don't think yet. I think we probably just try and knock out one of you on our own, and then try and see what we can do with that. Because if we can leave, like, maybe one depleter, we probably can do pretty good with that, for the most part. And then if I go for... Well, it doesn't look like I can do that yet, but that doesn't mean that we can't do it, to be honest. Because we can easily... Actually, wait a minute, I might be able to do this differently. We jump down here, per se, and then let's see if Bowser can make it over there by himself. No, not really. But that doesn't mean he can't. Yeah, he definitely could, because Edge could... Yep, okay, this works perfectly. Okay, so all we need to do is just make sure Rosalina can make it over to the other side. And then from there we can work with this. Because all we really need to do, in this instance, is put this guy to sleep, which we easily can. Perfect. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, now just get into position where Bowser can easily make his way into where Edge is. And then obviously do a nice little jump if we need to. Okay, not bad. It's pretty good. Okay, so obviously, Bowser, you have a nice fun time. We need you to go away from that enemy, though. We need you to be in like a position like here-ish. Hopefully this works. Yeah, we got both of them. Okay, I was a little worried it wouldn't hit both, but it did. Perfectly. Then obviously blast both of these in the next century. Not bad. There we go. And then I think we can just go Kaboomer on you, but you're counter-attacking. So I'm not really sure about that one. I think going invisible first, and then flying blading. Because the thing is if he does counterattack, he won't be able to counterattack, because he can't see us. So, yep, we completely got rid of that ability. And now we just blast you into next century, and GG, easy. That was an easier gateway for sure. So, I'll take the freebie. I'll definitely take it. Just because, well, let's be honest here. A lot of the other gateways have been a little bit longer, so that one being is, like, short and to the point. It's actually pretty nice. And we also get a planet coin, but we should also get a crystal, right? Because we got one before, but it doesn't look like we got a skill prism that time. Why not? That's weird. I swear we got one before, but apparently not this time. That's odd. Wonder why we got one last time, but didn't get one this time. Okay then. Well, we didn't get one, but we can work with it. We don't need every time we need a gateway to get one. It would be nice, but yeah, we can work around it. It's still odd though, because I swear we got one, but I guess not this time round. Definitely would be nice though to get one. But the last one for our mission on just in general for Palette Prime, Over the Gap, which is what would be the Goomba with the paw on his head mission, which is usually the harder mission other than the boss fight, as well as who you're gonna call for this world as well. So, honestly, we're on our final mission of Palette Prime, being the third world is pretty much almost done, other than obviously the boss fight, but it looks like it's a Spell Razor based on that, we saw a Spell Razor before, so that's interesting. So hello, Mr. Spell Razor, nice to meet you, buddy. Oh, it looks like we didn't finish the bridge. There we go. And let's take down the Spell Razor and begin our final mission for Palette Prime other than the boss, which is obviously a giant depleter, based on what we saw. Because we obviously saw him. It looks like a hide behind, though, from Kingdom Battle, but that's definitely a depleter. But here we go, closing the gap. Okay, survive. Okay, so just like the last one, for the last world, it's another survive mission. This time 8 turns, though. Okay, 8 turns. Okay, that doesn't seem too hard. If we get rid of a bunch of enemies first and foremost on the first, turn, and then prepare for whatever the game wants to spawn on us, we should be pretty good here, I think. Okay, well, we have our Wild Claw, too, for any kind of extra protection we need. So we'll definitely take a nice look around before we go full in. But I definitely say let's make sure Vamp Dash is active. That's a for sure and foremost. There's no reason not to. And then I think the best thing to do here is deal with this left side with Edge, because Edge has a free reign of multiple enemies over here. So I think that's probably a good start, for the most part. So make sure we do a bunch of dashes here, and try and get as much damage as possible in. Okay, well that enemy's not all the way down yet, but we definitely did quite a decent punch into their HP though, for sure. Other than that, I see an idea of maybe doing the same with Bowser here, and dropping right on top of these guys, doing a bunch of damage. Almost knocked him out too. You can easily dash into that guy, knock him completely out. Not bad. There is a Magician here that I see, but other than that, doesn't look like this is going to be too hard. I just want to make sure we spawn this Wild Claw the right way, because him being in front of us gives us extra movement for where he wants to go. Ooh, Spark Refresher. I'll take that. That'll definitely come in handy. That'll definitely come in handy. And then honestly, from here, we have a couple options here. We can send in some Wild Claws on or not Wild Claws, Mecha Koopas on the other guy. But I say definitely getting rid of the Spell Raisers over here is the first idea, because making sure they're down is probably the safest option. Other than that, we could put them to sleep, but I say waiting a turn on that might be smarter. Other than that, can't really help out her too much, but I do think if we wait on the other guy, I think we can easily knock out this guy, and then maybe use Bowser's Mecha Koopas, and then get him into cover, I think. So I think we can work with that. I just need to make sure we're facing the right direction, because he likes to change his movement. There we go, perfect. Just want to make sure they're going exactly towards him with the best current range that they can get. It's kind of weird that they're not red, like they're supposed to be, but jeez, he got burnt to a crisp like that, jeez. Okay then. Well, that depleter is basically done for. He's definitely going to heal himself, though. But, for the most part, that was not a bad turn. So let's see what he ends up doing with that. Or Medician, I should say. I don't know why I call him depleter. But the Medician, yeah, 264 HP is not bad for you. But, it's definitely not going to help you too much, I'll be honest there, buddy. But, we could put you to sleep. That's probably the first thing we do. And then I think, for the most part, just getting out of your range is probably safe. But staying, like, over here is probably good. And obviously, kaboom you into next week, because, no reason not to. I'm gonna say probably put ourselves to Ethereal now, with Edge, and then prepare a Stormblade for anything that ends up deciding to come out of that portal. Because we can easily, you know, do a decent amount of damage to anything that does decide to come out of that thing, before they even decide to spawn. So it's definitely not a bad thing. And then how many turns is this regen? You know what? Probably good to start this now, just in case. Because then if anything does happen, Bowser's healing. I think I'm pretty good with that, honestly. Let's see what ends up spawning out of that portal, though. It's a Spell Raiser, okay. 252 damage is not bad. We're in safety cover, too. So, Mr. Wildclaw is going to get a freebie. Although he is going to spawn in some Stooges, because of him being able to be spawned. But, for the most part, he is basically on top of that Spell Raiser. So it's not too bad of a movement, because he gets a free hit on him. So, not too bad, honestly. Other than that, I am curious what we can do here. Because we could technically run in and do a little bit with Edge here. Because if we can drop those enemies early, I kind of feel good about that, to be fair. So you know what, we're probably going to do that. Just because I want to make sure that these guys are down. Because we are invisible, we can take full like, ability of being invisible here, if we do this right. So, definitely making sure that these enemies are down for the count, before they can, you know, get anything out of it, will end up being a good thing for us. And then obviously getting back into the safety zone over here, and then just preparing for whatever ends up deciding to spawn. We could spawn some Mecha Koopas over here. You know what? It's probably worth it. Let's do it. No reason not to, right? Just have them set up and wait with the Wild Claw over there. And we can spawn another Wild Claw instantly as soon as that one ends up going down, because we got the free recharge on it. And I think probably putting Bowser further back, like here, would be safer. Just because you never honestly know. So we'll end turn. Let's see what decides to come out of here, what they'll end up doing. Because they're not going to have a fun time here. You blew up one of my Mecha Koopas, and now we know that we can use them as ways of completely negating damage to us. Which is interesting to see, just because I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case. But they do completely get enemies' focus on them, which is interesting to see, just because you don't think of that. But it does, which is pretty cool. Also, that poor Stooge that he just spawned got completely decimated almost. Although we didn't get a free knockout on him. Unfortunate. Pretty unfortunate. But we do have another Wild Claw, so we should probably go for that. Although, how do we get to that enemy? I say we could probably knock out the Spell Raiser on our own. Probably. I say that's definitely an option. So, Edge being down here may be a bad idea, but the thing is we get invisibility here in a second anyways. So we should probably take full advantage of it while we have it. And actually, wait a minute, we could probably do something along the lines of that. And I might be able to... Well, it doesn't look like it can get directly into cover. But that wasn't too bad, honestly. And obviously spawning in Wild Claw on top of this guy is probably a good idea, to be fair. So let's spawn in Mr. Wild Claw. He's gonna have a nice fun time with that stooge. Knock him out completely. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's get Rabbid Rosalina back to where she was. And then I think just preparing for whatever may come next is probably good. So Edge, I'm gonna have you get into this zone over here. I think that's pretty safe. Because I don't think any enemy will be able to walk over there with those current portals there. They're definitely gonna... Actually, that's a free hit for us, isn't it? Thank you. 1,500 crit too. I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. Although they are gonna move him back and forth though. But he is gonna get free knockouts on these guys. So let's see here. Another Spell Razor, I'm guessing? Will you be able to get hit again? Please be able... No. Sadly, he didn't survive. But he did actually do quite a lot. And also, they spawned a Stooge just in range of Edge, which I might like that, honestly. First things first, I do have a Turbo Charge active, so let's definitely set that up for everybody. We do have Mecha Koopas up again, so we definitely want to take advantage of that again. Because that ability is really fun. I really like that ability. And it's really fitting for Bowser to have that, to be fair, too. So, I'm very happy that Bowser has what he has, because there's some pretty cool stuff you can do. And honestly, right here, I see the idea of turning invisible with Edge and throwing in a free... Ooh, hello, Spark Energy. Let's definitely set up the Stormblade for later. It's 200 damage for free, so let's definitely set it up. We definitely should upgrade that when we get the chance. The current moment, our current build doesn't really require Stormblade to be upgraded. It's pretty cool, but I haven't had the idea to really, need to do so. But I definitely say we definitely go for another Rabbid Mecha Koopa, because preparing for whatever ends up spawning out of that, which usually tends to be those Spell Razor enemies, I definitely say it's really good to set up early for those, because there's nothing, bad about doing so. And then I think we just get out of complete cover when these enemies can't really hit us, because honestly, all we really need to do is survive, and they can't really see Edge. So, no matter what they end up trying to do, and we got 400 damage out of that, that's pretty cool. And although we lost one Rabid Magic Koopa, it's not too bad. Looks like they're easily able to get rid of multiple, though, which is a little unfortunate. But I don't think that does any damage to us. And, well, they ended up blowing themselves up again. We got ended up burned there, but it moved us into a position that's... not much I can do with that, honestly. But maybe I can do something with it. I have to force my movement a little bit higher, to be fair. But we can definitely work with this, to be completely honest. It's not the worst thing. Could have been better, for sure. But I'm definitely going to say moving like that would definitely help us a little bit there. And then our Ethereal's about to end off soon, so we should be probably a little bit careful with our next couple turns here, because we're not going to be able to do exactly what we did before. But the Spell Razors are kind of like, they're not really much that they can do at the current moment. So as long as we don't let them build up to the point where there's too many of them. Also, that's a Medician. Wait a minute. Okay, I didn't know different enemies were going to spawn, but now we have Medicians now spawning. Okay then. Interesting. It looks like, no, our invisibility just ended off. Oof. Well, it would be nice to have that for a little bit longer, but it's fine. I'll definitely take what we can get. I do say we could probably go for a nice multi-dash here. So let's definitely take the cookie and see what we can do with that, because we could probably do a decent amount here if we, take the advantage of it. But, I could probably do a little bit of damage to you to maybe get rid of your shield. I probably should, because then we can do a dash into both of these guys and break their shield for the most part. Not a bad turn. We didn't get rid of any of the enemies, but we did do a decent amount to them. And then there is stuff spawning up here now, but the thing is our cover is kind of breaking up here. There's not much cover we have anymore. But we can, per se, spawn some Rabid Mecha Koopas. Looks like I can force spawn them down there. Wait a minute. Hello. Wait a minute. If I do this right, I might be able to force them completely down there. There's 4 of them. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, Bowser, have fun. I wonder if they jump down the little blue paths or not, because I'm actually not sure about that. But it seems like it definitely does something. Interesting. And no, they don't jump down there, but you can force them to do stuff like that. That's interesting. Very, very interesting, in fact. I'm going to say definitely go Bazooka on you and start breaking through your guys' cover, because we now have a free reign of hitting him now. Okay, not bad. Although... Wait, I can't see you from here? Really? That's interesting. Well, how far is our range? Looks like I might be able to stand back here and hit him. Nope, can't. Well, it's not too bad. I could probably still work around with that. It really depends on where that ends up. Actually, well, the enemy is going to be spawning out of that portal here in a second, to be completely fair. So maybe what I can do, if I do it right... Doesn't look like there's many options on making sure we hit that enemy, though. But I could maybe make this work. We can try it. Because the thing is I want to make sure that enemy goes down, for sure. I'm pretty sure. Just based on the fact that, well, let's be honest here, he's probably going to hit us pretty hard if we let him stay. But I think what Rabbid Rosalina can do, maybe... Yeah, we can definitely try and knock you down with the Kaboomer here. So it's definitely worth going for. And then other than that, I don't think the Magician's going to be able to get over here because of the little, obviously, Fire Rabbid Mecha Koopa that's in their path currently. But honestly, not too bad, honestly. And what I could do, per se, is we can use this extra movement cookie to make sure we go over here into a safety zone. So, not too bad, honestly. We can easily work with that. Now we just see what the Magician's just running away. Interesting. Okay then, if you really want to do that, not the smartest idea. Just based on the fact that you want to be able to always get up to us. But if you want to do that, you can do it. It's not going to help you, but definitely makes me have a little bit of an easier time dealing with these enemies. They want to do stuff like that. But he's definitely going to spawn in a Stooge. The Stooges aren't too scary though, to be fair. They can dash you. But for the most part, these enemies can be pretty simple to deal with as long as you're, you know what you're doing. Because, well, they are the starting enemy, to be fair, but as long as you're doing things right, you can easily deal with some of these enemies by yourself. Dashing him, though, for sure. I don't think I needed to vamp dash him. If I say vamp dash him now, would probably be a good idea. If we get a spark, we didn't get a spark out of it, so it's not worth going for anything super special here. But doing a decent amount of damage to both of these guys, I feel like, are definitely worth the investment. And I think we can definitely get a good hit here. And we got a crit on the other guy, so I think we knocked out both. Not bad. We can work with that. That's definitely pretty good. Dash into you, get you on out of here. And then Magician's hiding over there, so we can't really do much about that. We can spawn in the Wild Claw for later, so let's just set that up for later, just in case whatever comes out of that. We'll have a nice, nasty surprise waiting for him. And then, I think safest thing here is, just making sure Bowser's in a safe spot, for the most part, I think. Because Bowser's, he's a little bit low, but for the most part, he's pretty safe. So, making sure he's, somewhat in a decent position with the regen assist. Making sure he gets a little bit of HP left. And honestly, I think we're pretty good here. As long as we move out of range of the Magician, I think we're good. And then I think we're good with this level. I think we're completely done here, because I don't think the guy in the portal is going to be able to get to us. And then I think the Magician's completely out of range. So, oh no, he's completely in range. He went for the Wild Claw instead, which is interesting. But, yeah, I really doubt that this guy's going to be able to get me. Maybe the Stooge that he spawns, but he ended up going for the Wild Claw instead. So, ends up working for us perfectly. The Stooge went for us, but honestly, battle cleared, and they lost their only chance to maybe get us there. So, and we also got level 22 out of that, which I'll obviously take. Another skill point is always good, too. So, definitely good. And I might end up being able to use that here for something very, very nice, because we should be able to maybe help out Bowser here in a second with that extra skill point there. Because the thing is... Actually, we know it's Rosalina, actually, to be honest. But the Spark Refresher is still pretty good. But I feel like the Spark Energy might be better for Rosalina. So I think it's about time we get her that. Because, let's be honest here, 25% chance of regaining your action point gives us 3 action points instead of 2. So, 25% chance to get that is not bad whatsoever. So, I definitely say that's probably worth it. But let's see what's inside the blueprint here, because I'm quite curious. I will tell you guys about the blueprint that was inside the secret zone, because I completely forgot to tell you guys about that. Oh, Wildwood Blade. An actual skin for Edge. That's nice. But, yeah, apparently, instead of giving me a random skin for the actual, secret zone, they actually gave me a gleaming one. So, we might as well bring this up now. So, the Palette Prime Sparks Benevolence League held a giant pumpkin raft race to fundraise you for this post. Secret zone, thank you. And there we go, we got ourselves a Gleaming Dukes here, which the Gleaming weapons seemed like they were only for the worlds, but apparently the secret zones are now going to give them, which is interesting, because I swear I got, random, skins from them before. So, getting some actual, new stuff is pretty cool. We'll definitely say that. But, well, for the most part, Palette Prime is pretty much done now. The only thing we really have to do now is, well, finish up the shopkeeper here, because I would like to see what our progression is, outside of doing the final mission that is the boss for here, which obviously we'll have to do later because we need 24 sparks for that, and we're still a little bit off of getting that. But let's see what kind of progress we made, because I would definitely like to grab those star potions, and then we'll read through these real quick. Speedway Triple Troll, the latest Speedway model, leaves haters in the dust, and your followers dying to know where they can get their own. And honestly, I feel like this skin is really good for Rabbid Peach, honestly. It definitely fits the character colors a lot more than a random weapon skin. So that might be a good one to throw on Rabbid Peach in the near future, just in case we ever do get to throw her out onto the battlefield again in the near future. Wildwood Dual Slingers for Mario. Go wild on your enemies with a double dose of all-natural artisan crafted damage, thanks to these Wildwood beauties. Definitely grab that. We have 3 left, so we can only buy 1 more. I'm going to say we'll buy the one for Rabbid Rosalina, because we already have one we like for Luigi, to be fair. So let's see here. The Vintage Kaboomer. Retro gem with sentimental significance. Turns foes into distant memories with its threadbare charm and energy bolts. Grab that, and then we'll read out this one. And then obviously we'll grab this when we finish off the final Planet Coin mission. But Vintage Sharpshooter, a mustache and a vintage weapon, proves to everyone that you've been a hero since day 0. Well, almost day 0. And just like that, we are now officially done with Palette Prime. And in the next episode, we will be making our way into the 4th world of our adventure, which seems to be, obviously based off the seasons, a spring-based world called Terra Flora. What we'll find on Terra Flora, who knows? But based on our previous encounters with all the worlds so far, we'll obviously have a warden. I'm not sure about a Spark Hunter, because I have a couple ideas. We could run into the next Spark Hunter in the next world. Or, if we do, I'm thinking world number 5, that's obviously, showing up on the map. It's more than likely, if we do fight a Spark Hunter, we might fight all 3 of them. Because the thing is they escaped, so we definitely have an idea of maybe fighting them again. Only thing is I would think we would fight them in Cursa's lair, if anything. All 3 of them at the same time. Maybe, maybe not. Honestly, I'm not sure. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep being spooky. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.